الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: يا أيها الإنسان إنك كادح إلى ربك كدحا فملاقيه. O human being, verily you are returning back to your Lord with a return that is most certain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He informs us here in this ayah that we are returning unto Him Jalla wa ala. After informing us that we are returning unto Allah Azza wa Jal with our deeds in tow, whether they are good deeds or they are bad deeds, but we are returning back unto Allah Azza wa Jal. And this return back to Allah, it is a return that is near. It is a return that is close. It is a return that will soon happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He informs us of the situation of those who return unto Him. قال إمام عثيمين رحمة الله عليه: ثم قسم الله عز وجل الناس عند ملاقاته إلى قسمين. That Allah has categorized the people, those who return unto Him, He has categorized them in two categories. منهم من يأخذ كتابه بيمينه. From them are those who will take their book in their right hand. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَأْخُذْ كِتَابَهُ مِنْ وَرَاءِ ظَهْرِهِ. Are those who will take their book behind their back. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He informs us as He says: فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. And as for the one who He takes his book inside of his right hand, فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا. Then he will have an easy reckoning. وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. And he will turn to his family happy. This is the first category of those who will receive their books. Then Allah Ta'ala informs us about the second. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ. And for the one who takes his book behind his back, فَسَوْفَ يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا. He will make dua that he was destroyed. He will ask to be destroyed. وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. And he will enter into the blazing fire. إِنَّهُ كَانَ فِي أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. He used to be happy with his family. إِنَّهُ ظَنَّ أَن لَّن يَحُورَ. He thought that he would never return. بَلَى. Nay, no way. إِنَّ رَبَّهُ كَانَ بِهِ بَصِيرًا. Verily his Lord was ever so much watching him. Verily his Lord was watching him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in telling us about the first group of those who will receive their book inside of their right hand, and we ask Allah Azza wa Jal that He make all of us from those who receive their book in their right hand. Allahumma ameen. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. And verily the one, and such the one who He takes his book inside of his right hand, فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا. He will receive an easy reckoning. لما ذكر أن الإنسان كادح إلى ربه كدحا أي عامل بجد والنشاط أن عمله هذا ينتهي إلى الله عز وجل كما قال الله تعالى ولله غيب السماوات والأرض وإليه يرجع الأمور كله. Shaykh Uthaymeen rahmatullah alayhi says, and when Allah Ta'ala informed us that the human being, he is returning unto his Lord with a sure return. He's returning unto his Lord in truth. He's returning unto his Lord vigorously. There's no hesitation in his going. His going, there's no hesitation in it. We are returning unto Allah Azza wa Jal. We are moving and marching towards our death. There's no hesitation. There's no pause. There's no wait. We are returning unto Allah Azza wa Jal in certain, with no hesitation, with no pause. And we are returning unto Allah with our actions, whatever our deeds they may be. We are carrying them back. And the end of this journey, that it will be unto Allah Azza wa Jal. As Allah Azza wa Jal, He says what means, and unto Allah belongs the unseen of the heavens and the earth. And unto Allah do all affairs return. Kullu, all the affairs return unto Allah Azza wa Jal. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He informs us here, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. And for the one who he takes his book in his right hand. Because the one who takes his book in his right hand and the one who takes the book in the left hand, they are both moving unto Allah Azza wa Jal. Their journey is the same, moving unto Allah Azza wa Jal. And the end of that journey is the same, is the meeting with Allah Azza wa Jal. But the circumstance and the manner in which they are returning their deeds, then they are different. Their deeds, they are different. What they have accumulated throughout the course of the travel is different. So Allah Ta'ala, He mentions that those who take their book in their right hand, إِشَارَ إِلَىٰ هَؤُلَاءِ الْعَامِلِينَ مِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْتَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. Those who have worked, you have from them those who will take their deed inside of their right hand. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْتِ كِتَابَهُ مِنْ وَرَاءِ ظَاهِرِهِ. And then you have from them those who will take their book from behind their backs. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. But for the one who takes his book with his right hand, Allah Ta'ala, He says, أُوتِيَ. And this fi'l is mabni lil majhul. And fi'l mabni lam yusamma fa'il. It is a verb that doesn't mention who is the doer of that verb. It is a verb that does not mention who is the doer of that verb. Who is the one who will be placing the book inside of the right hand of the slave? Or who is the one who will be placing the book behind the back of the slave inside of the left hand, or the left hand behind the back? فَمَنْ الَّذِي يُؤْتِيهِ. So who is the one who will give him his book? يَحْتَمِلْ أَنَّهُ مَلَائِكَةٌ. Shaykh Uthaymeen, he says, it could be understood, and it's probable that it is the angels. It is the angels who will be placing the books inside of the hands of the children of Adam. It is the angels who will be placing the book inside of the hands of the human beings. The Shaykh, he says, أَوْ غَيْرُ ذَلِكَ لَا نَدْرِي. So other than that, we don't know. Al-Muhim, what is important, أنه يعطى كتابه بيمينه أي يستلزمه باليمين. What is important is that he will take his book with his right hand, meaning he will receive it with his right hand. فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا. And he will receive an easy reckoning. He will receive an easy reckoning. His reckoning will be easy, as it has come in the Sunnah. أن الله عز وجل يخلو بعبده المؤمن. That Allah عز وجل, He will screen His believing slave. The reckoning for the believing slave, it will be a reckoning that will be done in private. It won't be out there for all of the creation to see, but it will be reckoning that will be done in private. Naam, yuqirruhu bidhunubih. Allah Ta'ala, He will go over the sins of that abd. Bila shak wa bila rayb. Bila shak wa bila rayb. No doubt about it, ya ibad. Even inside of this, it is a terrifying occasion, because you will be standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, And Allah Azza wa Jal will be going over your disobedience unto Him. Will be mentioning your sins. يقول عملت كذا وعملت كذا وعملت كذا. It will be said, you done this and you did that and you did this and you did that. And the abd that's mu'min, the believing slave, anyone in this situation, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning what you have done, what He knows you have done, there is no excuse, there is no explanation. He is mentioning your disobedience unto Him. This right here should be an encouragement for us to what? To shorten this list. To make tawbah unto Allah Azza wa Jal for what we have done in the past, and to strive hard not to add to it in the future. To shorten this list. Because it will be said, you have done this, you have done that, you have done this sin, and that sin. يقر بذلك ولا ينكر. The abd, he will agree with this and he won't disapprove of it. And how could he? Allah Azza wa Jalla will say, قد سترتها عليك في الدنيا وأنا أغفرها لك اليوم. Oh Allah, make us from those who this is said to them. Oh Allah, make us from those who you say this to them. Allahumma ameen. Allah Ta'ala, He will say unto them, I have screened your sins in the dunya. I have hidden your sins in the dunya. They were screened in the dunya, and I have forgiven you for them today. You were shielded in the dunya. No one knew about that dirt you used to do. No one knew about this sin and that sin and that sin. You were screened in the dunya. And today you are forgiven. And today you are forgiven. La shak wa la rayb. No doubt. هذا حساب يسير. This is an easy reckoning. This is an easy reckoning. But Abdul Mu'min, don't believe that. It won't be terrifying. It will be terrifying. But it's an easy reckoning. And this is from the bounty of Allah Azza wa Jal. And then Allah Azza wa Jal, He tells us that this individual who receives this easy reckoning, who receives his book inside of his right hand, وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا, then he will turn to his family happy. He will turn to his family overjoyed. He will turn to his family, meaning his family inside of the Jannah. Because for this one is the Jannah. And he will be happy. He will be overjoyed. His heart will be happy. His heart will be joyed. His face will be luminous. Due to the happiness of his heart, it will illuminate his face. He will be happy. He will be overjoyed. For him will be the lasting, the everlasting happiness. For him will be the everlasting joy. For her will be the everlasting happiness. For her will be the everlasting joy. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us of those who receive their book in their right hand, those who have an easy reckoning, those who their sins are mentioned to them and then they are forgiven for them, those who will turn to their family in happiness and enter into the Jannah to abide therein forever. Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He goes on to tell us about the second lot, the second group of individuals. And we ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He keeps us far removed from them in the dunya and in the akhirah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never make us from these ones. Ameen. Allah Ta'ala says, وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ. But for the one who takes his book from behind his back, the one who takes his book from behind his back, فَسَوْفَ يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا. Then he will make dua, he will beseech that he will be destroyed, that he will be removed from existence. But that won't happen. يَصْلَى وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. He will enter the fire. He will enter into the blazing fire. هَؤُلَاء هُمُ الْأَشْقِيَاء وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. These ones, they are the unhappy ones. These are the miserable ones. يُؤْتِي كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ وَلَيْسَ عَنْ يَمِينِهِ. He will take his book from behind his back, not from the right. Not from the right. وفي الآية الأخرى, in the side of another ayah, in Surah Al-Haqqa, Allah Ta'ala says, وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِشِمَالِهِ. And verily, the one who takes his book inside of his left hand. وَقِيلَ أَنَّ مَنْ لَا يُؤْتَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ يَنْقَسِمُ لِقِسْمَيْنِ. And it has been said that those who don't take their book in the right hand, then they themselves will break into two different categories. مِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْتِ كِتَابَهُ بِالشِّمَالِ. Those who will take the book with their left hand in front of them. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُؤْتِ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ. And from them, those who will take their book with their left hand from behind them. This has been said. This has been said. Naam. However, what is أقرب كما قال الشيخ رحمة الله عليه والأقرب والله أعلم. What is more correct is that they're not two groups. Not one that will take his book in his left hand from in front of him, and another one that will take his left hand from behind him. No, they're not two groups. The Shaykh, he says, what is closer, and Allah knows best, أَنَّهَا يُؤْتِ كِتَابَهُ بِالشِّمَالِ, is that he will take his book with his left hand. وَلَكِنْ تُلَوِّيَ يَدُهُ حَتَّى يَكُونُ مِنْ وَرَاءِ ظَهْرِهِ. But his hand will be twisted. He will get his book in his left hand, and then it will forcibly be twisted until it's behind his back. إشارة إلى أنه نبذ كتاب الله وراء ظهره. And this is because in the dunya he used to put Allah's book behind his back. So on this day he receives his reckoning and his hand is twisted and contorted to be behind his back. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. الْجَزَاء مِنْ جِنْسِ الْعَمَلِ. The punishment will be appropriate due to the crime. He put Allah's book behind his back in dunya, put it behind him, ain't worry about it. Now on this day he gets his reckoning in his left hand and it's twisted behind his back. وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. يكون الأخذ بالشمال ثم تولي يده إلى الخلف إشارة إلى أنه قد ولي ظهره كتاب الله عز وجل ولم يبالي به ولم يرفع به رأسا ولم يرى بمخالفته بأسا. So therefore he will get his book in his left hand and then it will be twisted behind his back, because he used to give to the book of Allah his back. He turned his back on Allah's book inside of this dunya. He turned his back on the book of Allah Azza wa Jal. He had no concern for it. He didn't raise his attention to it. He didn't lift his head to pay attention to Allah's book. He saw that going against Allah's book was no problem. He saw it was no problem to go against the book of Allah Azza wa Jal. So therefore he will get his book in his state, and when he gets his book in his state and it's twisted and contorted behind his back, فَسَوْفَ يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا, then he will wish, then he will make dua that he will be destroyed. Then he will make dua, he will call out that he will be destroyed. That he will cease to exist. He will rather cease to exist than go to the fire. He will rather be removed from existence than go to the fire. So he will call out, saying statements, oh, destroy me, take me out of existence, may I be destroyed to the end of it. Ya waylata. But that's not for him. This calling out for this, beseeching in this moment, la yanfa'. It will not help him. La yanfa'. It will not help him on that day. لأنه انتهى وقت العمل. Because the time for action is over. The time for action has ceased, it has stopped, it has come to an end. فالوقت العمل في الدنيا. The time of working is in the dunya. The time of working is in the dunya. Right now in the dunya. This is the time for working. As Shaykh Uthaymeen rahmatullahi alayhi mentions in other places that he said that he want to draw the attention to the internet, وَمَا أَشْبَهَ ذَلِكَ, to the internet and other than that. He said, but not just that in particular, but in general. He said, because we have not been created for the likes of these things. We have not been created for the likes of these things. This was a reminder to remind us of how we should utilize our time. As a reminder, all of these things that preoccupy us, this game, that game, internet, that whatever game, we have not been created for this. We have not been created for this, but we have been created for ibadah. Even the work, we have not been created to toil and to work 9 to 5 and this and that. That's not why we've been created. But we've been created for ibadah. The Muslim man utilizes that work, utilizes that employment so that he may earn halal wages, so that he may obey Allah Azza wa Jal by taking care of those whom Allah Azza wa Jal has commanded him to take care of. So he utilizes their work as a tool for what? To worship Allah Azza wa Jal. He utilizes that work as a tool so that he doesn't have to ask the people for anything. But it should never be flipped until his perception is that work becomes that what distracts him from the worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. Ala kulli hal. The time for working for the akhirah is in the dunya. So him beseeching and calling out and asking to be destroyed, it won't happen for him. وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. He will enter into the fire. He will enter into that fire that has been prepared for the likes of him, and he shall abide therein forever. إِنَّهُ كَانَ فِي أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. He used to be happy with his family. He used to be happy. He was happy before. His time of happiness is done. Shaykh Uthaymeen rahmatullahi alayhi, he says that if you look at the connection between the happiness, Allah Ta'ala, he says about the one who will enter into the Jannah, the mu'min, وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. He will turn to his family happy. Happy. He will turn to his family happy. He's in a state of happiness from now until forever. Naam. But the other one, the miserable one, كَانَ فِي أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. He used to be happy. He was happy before. The happiness done came and is gone. He was happy before. The first, he was happy with a happiness that's da'im. He's happy with a happiness that's forever. It lasts. And we ask Allah Ta'ala to make us from amongst them. The second one, he was happy with a happiness that is za'il. He's happy with a happiness that is temporary. It's temporal. It goes away. It does not last. His happiness does not last. It will go away. This is the way you find those who are destined for the fire, those who are moving toward the fire. That's what you find. They're only worrying about the immediate happiness, the immediate satisfaction, the immediate gratification. They don't look into what are the repercussions of their actions. They don't look into how this action will have a bearing on them when they meet Allah Azza wa Jal. But do you know why? Allah Ta'ala, he says, إِنَّهُ ظَنَّ أَلَّن يَحُورَ. Because he thought that he would never be returned. إِنَّهُ ظَنَّ أَلَّن يَحُورَ. He thought he wasn't going to be resurrected. إِلَّا يَرْجِعْ بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ. He thought he wasn't coming back after he died. He thought that once he did what he did, he died. That was it. No. So Allah Ta'ala, he tells him, no way. No way it's like that. You live and do what you want to do, oppress who you want to oppress, harm who you want to harm, act treacherously, and then that's it. You get away scot-free. You died and that's it. There's no reckoning for you. You're not going to be questioned about what you have done. You can steal from the people's wealth and so on and so forth, and you won't have to repay that ever. You died and that's it. No way. You will be judged. You will come to reckoning. You will be rewarded or you will be punished. Allah Ta'ala, He tells this one who thought that he will never be resurrected. إِنَّهُ ظَنَّ أَن لَن يَحُورَ. He thought he would never come back. Bala. Sayahur. You will be brought back. Yarji', you will return after your death. You will be brought back. Inna rabbahu kana bihi basira. Verily, his Lord was ever so watching him. His Lord was always watching him. His Lord knew what he was doing. His Lord knew what he was doing. He'll be brought back because now he has to pay for it. He'll be brought back because now he has to pay for it. So he'll be brought back. And it is Allah Azza wa Jal who will call him to account. It is Allah Azza wa Jal who will punish him. Remember that, Ya Ibad. Especially in light of these slogans that the evil people use as a distraction. Only Allah can judge me. Naam, that is true. But that shouldn't be an excuse. You see, the shaitan, he has gotten them to utilize this word not as that which should remind them and be a remembrance for them, but that which becomes a justification why they can do what they want to do. Only Allah can judge me. What that means? So you don't say nothing, don't call the good, don't forbid evil, don't tell me that what I'm doing is not right. You don't have nothing to say about what the evil of what I'm doing and so on and so forth. That's how they utilize this kalima. But it should draw to their mind that what? That na'am, Allah will judge you. Your reckoning is with Allah Azza wa Jal. And Allah will reward you if you have done good. And if Allah rewards you for doing good, who can take away that reward from you? But on the flip side, if Allah punishes you because of your evil, Allah judges you and finds you worthy of punishment, who can save you? Aqimus salat.